Today, we're teaching Carl to roll over. This is one of those tricks that looks super impressive, but is actually pretty easy when you break it into baby steps. Let's find out. The nice thing with Carl is he already has a really solid down, which makes this trick so much easier. And honestly, Carl better know down by now because he went to pretend school in my living room for it. So if you miss Carl's very serious academic journey where he learned down in pretend school, watch it here. It's one of my favorite Carl school moments. If you're trying this with your own dog, make sure that they already know down first because roll over builds right off of that. I've also got some small high value treats because I'm going to be using a lure to help Carl figure out the movement. The trick here is that I'm not forcing him into it. I want him to follow the treat and discover the roll motion for himself. So first, I'm going to get Carl into a down. Then I'm taking the treat right to his nose and slowly bringing it back towards his shoulder. The second Carl tips onto his hip or side, I'm rewarding that. I'll give him a cookie and I'll mark it with the word yes. At this stage, I'm not worried about the full roll yet. I just want Carl to confidently understand that this little side flop is all part of our rollover game. And if you're doing this with your own dog, make sure to reward even the tiniest movement towards the side position, and this will help them progress to their side faster. Now that Carl is happy to drop onto his side, I can continue the lure a little further. I'm just slowly going to bring the treat in an arc so all of his weight shifts over. And even if Carl only rolls halfway, I'm still rewarding it and marking it with that yes command. Those awkward little half rolls are actually exactly what we want. This part is all about building confidence in the movement. Same thing if you're doing this with your own dog. You want to reward this messy middle step that's kind of an in-between roll. Now Carl's starting to understand the motion, so I can bring the lure all the way through in one smooth circle. The second he lands back on his belly, big reward. I'm going to use lots of praise, excitement, and let him know that was exactly right and what I wanted. The smoother your hand movement is here, the easier it'll be for your own dog to follow too. Once Carl can do the movement smoothly, now I start adding the verbal cue. So I'll say roll over, then immediately guide him through it. At the same time, I'm pairing it with the hand signal I like to use, which is just a small circular finger motion. I always like pairing hand signals with verbal commands because dogs naturally understand body language way better than words. So often the hand signal becomes really clear for them really quickly. If you're teaching your own dog, use the same word and the same hand signal every single time so they can connect all the pieces. For Carl, I kind of aim to practice this about 3 times a day in short little sessions, usually around 5 minutes because he's still quite young and, well, his attention span sucks. So I kept it short. If you're doing this with your own dog, you want to aim for 5 to 10 minutes depending on their focus level and try to get 3 sessions in a day. I aim for that too, but some days I fell a little short. But Carl still did a pretty good job. And just remember, short successful reps are way better than one long frustrating session. The dog is not going to retain the information if you do that. And that's how I taught Carl to roll over. Take it slow, have fun, and your dog can totally learn this too. Carl, of course, thinks he's amazing at this and he's ready to show off in the Olympics. If you have any ideas for what trick he should learn next, drop them down in the comments. I love seeing what you guys come up with. And if you like hanging out with Carl, watching him learn fun tricks and do goofy skits, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next adventure.